you want to transition, you need either capital or you need credit, okay? So if you don't have it, keep thrifting, right? Keep thrifting and saving money. If you're working a job, don't just quit your job to get into Amazon. It makes me literally like want to throw up in my mouth when people like quit their job and they just go all in with Amazon and they think all because you're doing 10, 20K a month in sales that you're going to be able to pay yourself that. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit. In this video, I want to talk to the person who's thrifting, doing garage sales, auctions, flea markets, you know, all the different forms of retail arbitrage. And I want to talk to the person who wants to transition to eBay to Amazon flips or Amazon to Amazon or traditional online arbitrage, okay? Because there's some big key differences and some things that I didn't realize when I first started. And before we get into the video, I want to say behind me, if you're wondering what is that, Steve, I'm actually going to be building out my vision board today. So I printed out all my goals and pictures and different things that I want to see and just, you know, keep at the top of my mind every day when I'm in my office. So I'm going to be pinning that all up to my vision board. So I'm pretty excited about that. But in any event, are you thrifting? Are you, buying items from library sales and garage sales, and maybe you're doing local pickups, auctions, flea markets, and you're probably loving it, right? Your ROI is probably insane. Your profit margins are probably really good, but maybe you're stuck between $5,000 to $10,000 a month in sales. That's typically where the average, I'll just call them thrifter, that's where I got stuck. So maybe you want to get to 20, 30, 40, 50K. Maybe you really want to make this a full-time thing, but you're thinking to yourself, in order for me to grow my sales, I just don't have the time to go out to more thrift stores. Maybe you're working a job and you just realize, for me to get to where I want to go thrifting, it's just going to take so much time. So you're probably hearing about online arbitrage. Maybe you've been watching my videos where I talk about my eBay to Amazon business. Maybe you watch, videos about Amazon to Amazon flips, or you watch, some of my friends like Flip for Miles and Fields Profit. They're doing traditional online arbitrage, and, my buddy Corey who's doing wholesale, and you're like, I want to go that direction. I want to start adding that into the mix. But you're like, man, like, where do I even start? Like, how do I get going? Well, I'm not going to talk exactly about like how to start and how to do it, but I want to share one thing that you have to understand that's going to help you move in that direction. It's one thing that kind of messed me up a little bit when I first got started. And I'm just going to, I'm going to be all over the place, but this is going to help you if you're looking to add it to the mix in 2024. There's a couple things you have to understand. Number one, it requires more money. So if you're thrifting right now and doing garage sales, that's great, but you should be storing money aside. You should start to build your snowball of, capital that you can invest, because there's no way around it. The only difference between someone doing 30K per month in sales with online arbitrage versus someone doing, let's just call it 5K a month with online arbitrage, is the person doing 30K is spending a lot more money, okay? As long as your ROI, profit, and sell-through rate is in line, you have to spend more money. But you might be thinking, Steve, I don't have money. That's why I think it's really smart not to get into online arbitrage too soon, because the margins are going to be much less. That's number two. Typical margins with eBay to Amazon, I'm talking like net at the end of the day, is typically between 20, 25, 30%. And that's pretty high. For traditional OA, it could be 10, 15% net. Same with wholesale. That's why I like eBay to Amazon flips and Amazon to Amazon, because the margin is that much higher. Now, the margin's higher because there's more risk. I mean, you don't have the legitimate invoices. I've made tons of videos about that. But if you want to transition, you need either capital, if you really want to grow it, like at least quickly or in a good time frame, you need capital or you need credit, okay? So if you don't have it, keep thrifting, right? Keep thrifting and saving money. If you're working a job, don't just quit your job to get into Amazon. It makes me literally like want to throw up in my mouth when people like quit their job and they just go all in with Amazon and they think all because you're doing 10, 20K a month in sales that you're going to be able to pay yourself that. And the reality is, maybe with thrifting you could, because the margins are so high. But when you get into any form of online arbitrage, or especially wholesale or private label, these things require a lot more capital. And even though, you might be making all these sales and you're making like a good 20, 30% margin, you can't pay yourself with that because you have to keep reinvesting back into the business. That's why I think it's really smart to keep your job, keep thrifting on the side. And I wouldn't, like, literally, if you're thrifting full time, and when I say thrifting, again, that's garage sales, auctions, flea markets, all that, right? When you're doing that, if you're doing well right now, but maybe your sales are just not where you want to be and you're spending a lot of time, keep doing that, but then add eBay to Amazon into the mix 5% of the time. The same with Amazon to Amazon flips, whatever you choose, right? To each their own. There's a lot of different forms. You can do traditional OA if you're freaked out about not having invoices, right? Do what you want to do. I'm not here to convince you what to do. I can only share on my channel what I do and my journey and my story. I do eBay to Amazon. But you want to possibly in the beginning just add 5% or 10%. Make it a slow transition because the cash flow is not going to be as sexy as thrifting, okay? So my recommendation, save as much money as you possibly can. Don't spend all your money thrifting. Build up your nest egg, and that nest egg is going to be a vehicle for you to make a move into your next vehicle, right? Which is OA. And the benefit of doing online arbitrage, you might be thinking, what's the point of doing OA, Steve? The margins are way less. You know, I'm thrifting, I'm making 100, 200, 500% ROI. The benefit of doing online arbitrage is, number one, you can do it from home, okay? Number two, you can leverage your capital. Number three, you can build out all different types of systems to actually be able to make money without you even having to see the products or touch the products. I know it sounds scammy and it sounds like, oh yeah, you're full of it, Steve, but there's things called prep centers out there, okay? So I've transitioned my business in 2024 to where I have 2 virtual assistants buying all my items. And again, I've been doing this for a while, so these results like obviously aren't typical. You're not going to get these results, you know, overnight. I've been doing this for, you know, actually going on 3 years for eBay to Amazon, but I have 2 VAs who source all my items. We're spending anywhere from 20, 30 to 40K a month. All the items then get drop shipped from eBay to a third-party prep center who then receives it. They list it, they prep it, they inspect it, they make sure it's, you know, what I ordered, and, you know, there's a whole system there. And then they ship it on my behalf within my Amazon Seller Central to Amazon. So that's the benefit. Like, there's an ability to actually have a real business. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. If you're thrifting and doing garage sales and all that, like, I would never disrespect you. I did that forever. But just know there's a difference between, I hate to say it this way, like a real business and a, not a hobby, but like, let's put it this way. If I ended up in the hospital or if something happened to me, as long as I had access to my computer, I could keep my business running. If I was thrifting or doing garage sales and all that, like obviously I could keep it running if I could leverage like a brother, sister, friend, but there's no way to really keep that going because that business is dependent upon me or you going out, finding it, sourcing it, bringing it home, listing, inspecting, all that. So the benefit is you could really systematize the business and build out workflows that take you out of the equation. In my opinion, that's a real business. Again, I don't mean that in any disrespectful way. And even though the margins are a lot less, for me, the way I look at my business is I'm looking at my return on investment, okay? Not only that, but also my return on my time. So how much time am I spending and how much money am I making? And I actually did a breakdown in a previous video. I don't know if it came out yet, but I actually added up all the hours I spent in my business in 2023, and I divided it by how much, you know, money I ended up making, like total net profit. And my hourly rate was like between $300 to $400. So for me, that's a big win. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be able to do that. I'm not saying everyone could do, like, that's actually very challenging. That's 3 years of work, and 95% of people are never going to get to that point, right? It was a lot of work and effort and learning and mistakes and losing money and experimenting, so on and so forth. But if you're looking to get into traditional OA, start. Right? Just start, but start small, okay? And just know that the gasoline to the business to set your business on fire, like in a good way, like scaling it, it's money. Money is the gasoline. So when you learn how to source correctly, when you learn about how to analyze deals, and you learn about how to source items with strong ROIs and profits and sell-through rates and items that aren't going to get you in trouble, in order to grow, it's money. You got to pour that money, pour that gasoline on it and scale. And then you have to figure out all the different problems and challenges that are going to come along during that journey, which, you know, that's what I talk a lot about in my eBay to Amazon masterclass. Not to pitch you in a lot of the videos, but people are always asking me all these questions like, well, I got 100 plus videos. I break it all down in there. And matter of fact, the eBay to Amazon masterclass 2.0 is almost here. We have over 100 brand new fresh videos for, actually over 125 brand new for 2024. So check that out if you've been interested or whatnot. But start OA, start small, 5%, start investing money, but then keep thrifting, keep your job. You want to preserve and build that cash flow so you could slowly invest more and more and more. And that's how I did it. Again, I'm not telling you to do that, but hopefully this adds a little bit of context. I know a lot of folks, you know, I get a lot of messages asking, how do I get involved? How do I start? What's the best way to do it? What's the biggest differences? You know, what's the benefits of OA versus thrifting? And again, some people might not want to do OA. Some folks might just want to have fun and thrift and treasure hunt. And I'll be honest, thrifting is a million times more fun than eBay to Amazon. Now, for me personally, this is just my personality. I enjoy the money, right? That's why I'm running the business. I have a lot of other things that I do for fun. So, back in the day, thrifting was my fun. And I still, that was what I did for, that was like my hobby that made money. Now I have other hobbies and different things I enjoy. And for me, I look at it more as a business, and I look at it as, how can I leverage my capital, and how can I systematize it, and how can I spend the least amount of time but make the highest hourly rate. But for some folks, you want to make money, but you don't want to sacrifice your fun. And it's certainly not as fun, OA. But the good thing is you could always do thrifting on the side. It's your business. You do what you want. So hopefully that helps, maybe adds a little bit of context. If this was beneficial at all, drop a comment. Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on, on the conversation today. And just want to say I appreciate you all. Much love. Happy 2024. And just want to thank everybody for watching videos, everyone a part of the masterclass, so on and so forth. I love serving you guys, and I am just so grateful for you all. So with that being said, you guys have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.